When She Woke is the latest page-turner from international best-selling author Hillary Jordan. It is the story of a stigmatized woman struggling to navigate an America of the not-too-distant future where the line between church and state has been destroyed and convicted felons are chromed or colored to match their crime. Hillary Jordan joins us now. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Was it your intent from the very beginning to really give the book, The Scarlet Letter, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne, a more modern twist?
Yes, not from the very beginning. From the very beginning, I didn't have the Scarlet Letter connection. All I really had was this idea of this red woman waking up in a prison cell.
So it sort of evolved.
It definitely evolved, yes.
This is, the story is amazing because it is kind of very creative when you talk about being chromed. This is a young woman who's accused of a crime, convicted of a crime, and then her Scarlet Letter is the color red.
Yes, exactly.
How did this come about?
The genesis of this happened many, many years ago, and I was having a conversation with a family member, a brilliant and opinionated family member, and we were talking about the drug problem in America. And he said, well, I think that all drugs ought to be legal. They just ought to turn you bright blue so that other people can stay away from you, see you coming and stay away from you. And this idea of what it would be like to be stigmatized in that way really stuck in my mind. And many years later, I wrote those first 4 pages about the red woman in the room.
And the color red isn't the only color you talk about in this book. There are other colors that match. It depends what crime you commit. So let's go through them. You have green.
Green is armed robbery, also financial felonies. Blue is child molestation. Purple is rape, although I never actually say that in the story. But I did have a whole color code.
And yellow too.
And yellows are misdemeanors.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, this is a book. How would you describe this book? It has a different twist to it.
It's a dark fable. It's a bit of a cautionary tale about where we might be headed if we don't change course a bit. More than anything, I just wanted to write a compelling piece of literature, like a great story.
And this is really about an awakening.
Yes, it's
the
about
title,
a series.
When She Woke.
Yes, it's about a series of awakenings. She literally wakes up red, but she also has a series of awakenings over the course of the book: spiritual, intellectual, sexual. So all that stuff comes in.
Her name is Hannah Payne.
Yes.
And of course, as soon as I heard that, you had to think about, well, Hester.
Yes, exactly.
The Scarlet Letter.
Exactly.
And they both really had to change throughout the course of the book. And she herself had to struggle to really become more independent as she dealt with the crime that she's accused of. And there's a great passage, I just thought, anyway, and as I was reading this book, between she and her friend, Kayla, were locked in the trunk of a car. And Kayla says to Hannah, "You've got the strength to survive whatever happens." And when she said that, it just really spoke to me, because that's all we really need to think about, is that be strong and you'll get through whatever it is.
Yeah, she starts off not being so strong, or not realizing she's strong, and the book is really about her self-realization and coming to a place of real strength.
You have a lot of characters in this book.
Yes, I have a sort of corollary to Arthur Dimmesdale, and really in thinking about the Scarlet Letter, I tried to think about what would be parallels from the world he described in late 17th century Boston and my futuristic dystopian world. So in the Scarlet Letter, Hester Prynne is on a scaffold in front of all the people. And I thought, okay, what would be the modern day equivalent of that? Well, reality television pushed seriously far. What would be the modern day equivalent of a very charismatic minister? Well, a megachurch preacher. So I really had fun playing with those themes.
You're getting a lot of accolades for this book.
Yes, unfortunately.
It's been chosen for, we were talking this earlier, what was it chosen for this month?
It's the Indie Next pick for October, and it's one of O Magazine's fall reading picks. So that's just wonderful.
Well, it's my pick of the week.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's a great book. I really enjoyed it. I stayed up till 2 a.m. to read it.
Authors hate hearing that.
Again, the book is When She Wrote by Hillary Jordan. Hillary, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
You're welcome.